Chapter 1, Part 17. Perseverance is the song that keeps singing when there's no applause. To persist is to trust that every seed of virtue sown, every kindness offered, every temptation resisted is writing eternity into your being. If you behave well, you will feel well. This may sound like behaviorist psychology, but it is ancient spiritual law. When your actions align with truth, when your life is a vessel for compassion, something inside you settles. Not just emotionally, but cosmically. The mystics knew it. The saints embodied it. Even the sages of science now glimpse it. That ethical living is not a burden, but a path to wholeness. The avatars didn't just teach us how to believe. They taught us how to behave, because they knew heaven is not found by escaping life, but by infusing it with sacred action. So make your life the crucible. Let the fire of your love, your truth, your generosity transform not just your soul, but the very world around you. Every gesture can be an offering, every choice a step on the path. And when you walk this way, you don't just move toward the divine, you move as the divine. Beyond belief, the knowing heart. The end of dogma, the beginning of experience, moving from intellectual understanding to direct realization. Doubt as a doorway, using skepticism to deepen inquiry, not to negate. The courage to be vulnerable, opening to the vastness of the divine requires shedding defenses, living the Godhead, integrating spiritual wisdom into every aspect of mundane life. The end of dogma, the beginning of experience. There comes a time on the journey when belief alone is no longer enough. Not because it is wrong, but because it is incomplete. The map must give way to the landscape. The finger must fall away from the moon. The idea of God must surrender to the encounter with the living presence. This is not the rejection of belief, but its fulfillment. When the sacred is no longer a theory, but a felt reality, a vibration in your marrow, a whisper in your every breath. Dogma divides, experience dissolves boundaries. You no longer say, I believe in the light. You say, I have stood in it, I have become it. Doubt as a doorway. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. Doubt is the guardian of the gate. To question is not to betray. It is to honor the truth enough to dig deeper than inherited words. Even the great ones doubted. Arjuna trembled. Mother Teresa walked through darkness. The Buddha left everything behind to confront uncertainty head-on. Doubt, if you let it, becomes a holy fire, burning away the false so only the real remains. The danger is not in doubting, it's in settling too soon. Stay in the tension, lean into the unknown. And you will find that behind every honest question is the invitation to intimacy with the real. The courage to be vulnerable. You cannot approach the infinite while clinging to your armor. The Godhead cannot be grasped, only received, and receiving means opening, and opening means risk. To face the divine is to face your own unworthiness, and to watch it dissolve in the light of unconditional love. You cannot enter the sanctuary with clenched fists. You must come barehanded, broken if you must, but true. This is the paradox. Vulnerability is the highest strength. To weep in prayer, to tremble in the presence of the sacred, to admit you do not know, this is not weakness. This is what prepares the heart to be known and filled. Living the Godhead, what begins in silence must end in action. The mystic does not stay in the cave. The awakened soul does not avoid the market. To live the Godhead is to carry what you've realized into the way you speak to your partner, the way you treat your enemy, the way you drive in traffic, the way you answer the phone. It is to find the sacred in the simple and the infinite in the ordinary. It is no longer about having spiritual experiences. It is about becoming a spiritual expression, walking, breathing, listening, giving. You begin to move not from willpower, but from alignment. You no longer need to prove anything. You simply embody it. The knowing heart no longer argues. It simply radiates. Beyond belief, there is trust. Beyond dogma, there is direct knowing. Beyond separation, there is union. When the mind quiets and the heart opens and the soul remembers, you do not find God as an idea to cling to. You find God as the one who has been walking with you all along. The journey ends not in answers, but in awareness. Not in declarations, but in devotion. And at last you return, not to where you were, but to who you are. Conclusion. The seamless garment, we began by seeking the echo of oneness, and we end by realizing its pervasive presence. The Godhead is not separate from us, nor are the avatars external saviors. They are the magnificent expressions of the very potential that resides within each human heart. Their stories are not just ancient tales, but living parables. They illuminate the path, not by demanding blind allegiance, but by demonstrating the profound efficacy of certain ways of being. They show us that love, compassion, wisdom, and selfless action are not just virtues, but the very instruments by which we tune ourselves to the frequency of the divine. The cutting edge, then, is not in discovering a new God, but in rediscovering the timeless Godhead within. It is in transcending the superficial differences of creed and culture to embrace the unified field of spiritual truth. It is in taking the lessons of these magnificent avatars and, with every conscious breath and every deliberate action, daring to become a lamp unto ourselves, radiating the very light of the One. For the echo of oneness is not just a sound from afar, it is the silent, pulsating heart of your own being, waiting to be fully heard, fully felt, and fully expressed. The journey continues, and the lamp is in your hands. Light it. The cosmic dance, echoes of Krishna, Shiva, and the ecstasy of Rumi, dedication to the seekers of the beloved, to the dancers in the cosmic play, and to the silent whispers of the divine within every heart. A tapestry of divine play and unveiling truths. Introduction. The infinite unveiled. The human spirit, in its eternal quest for meaning, often finds itself drawn to narratives of the divine, stories woven from the fabric of ancient wisdom, rich with symbolism and imbued with the power to transcend the mundane. Across the vast tapestry of spiritual traditions, few figures command such reverence and inspire such profound devotion as Krishna and Shiva, two luminous facets of the Hindu pantheon. Their lives, their cosmic dances, their very essences are not merely tales of gods, but profound allegories for the human journey, the nature of reality, and the boundless love that underpins existence. To walk alongside Krishna is to witness the ultimate Lila, the divine play that encompasses joyous abandon, profound wisdom, and the relentless pull of Dharma. He is the mischievous child, the enchanting lover, the strategic warrior, and the supreme philosopher, whose every act, whether mundane or miraculous, serves as a beacon, illuminating the path of devotion and selfless action. His very existence is a testament to the idea that the divine is not distant, but intimately interwoven with the fabric of life, accessible through love, song, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Shiva, in stark contrast yet profound complementarity, embodies the ascetic, the untamed, the destroyer and transformer. He is the Lord of meditation, the ultimate yogi, whose stillness holds the universe, and whose furious dance dismantles illusions. To contemplate Shiva is to confront the terrifying beauty of dissolution, the sacredness of impermanence, and the liberating power of transcending all attachments. He is the primal force of the cosmos, residing in cremation grounds as much as on snow-capped peaks, reminding us that true divinity encompasses both creation and ultimate liberation from form. And then there is Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet, whose verses pour forth like an intoxicating wine, brimming with an ecstatic longing for the divine beloved. His words, born of mystical experience, echo the very core truths embodied by Krishna and Shiva: the unity that underlies all apparent duality, the passionate surrender required for true spiritual awakening, and the profound, transformative power of love. Rumi's poetry does not merely describe the divine, it invites the reader into the very experience of the divine, dissolving boundaries between lover and beloved, seeker and sought. The lamps are different, but the light is the same, Rumi. This simple yet profound couplet by Rumi serves as our guiding star. Krishna and Shiva, though distinct in their manifestations and narratives, are but different lamps illuminating the same singular, ineffable light. Their stories, when viewed through the lens of mystical inquiry and the heart-opening wisdom of Rumi, cease to be mere mythological accounts and transform into living parables, resonating with a timeless truth that transcends cultural and temporal boundaries. This essay embarks on a journey to explore the lives and profound symbolism of Krishna and Shiva, not as isolated deities, but as complementary expressions of the ultimate reality. We will delve into their birth, their formative years, their pivotal roles in cosmic dramas, and the philosophical underpinnings of their worship. Throughout this exploration, Rumi's lyrical pronouncements will serve as a continuous counterpoint, an ecstatic chorus that unveils the universal threads connecting the paths of devotion, renunciation, and ecstatic union. We will discover how the dance of Krishna's flute harmonizes with Shiva's cosmic drum, and how both resonate with the yearning heart of the Sufi mystic, proving that truly the lamps are different, but the light is undeniably the same. What you seek is seeking you. Rumi. Perhaps in uncovering the stories of Krishna and Shiva and in immersing ourselves in the boundless love expressed by Rumi, we do not merely learn about the divine, but rather we uncover the divine that has always been seeking us within the deepest chambers of our own hearts. It is a journey of recognition, of remembrance, and of ultimately surrendering to the vastness of the cosmic dance. The flute player and the heart of devotion, the story of Krishna. The ancient Indian subcontinent pulses with a narrative that transcends mere storytelling, weaving together divine play, profound philosophy, and the very essence of devotion. At its heart lies Krishna, the captivating blue-skinned deity, revered as the eighth incarnation of Vishnu. His multifaceted life, chronicled in epics like the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana, offers not just a biography of a god, but a living blueprint for spiritual understanding, demonstrating how the divine intersects with human experience in myriad, often surprising ways. Birth in the darkness, light in the world. The incarnation of Vishnu Krishna's earthly journey begins in the most unlikely of circumstances. Born in a dungeon to Devaki and Vasudeva, under the oppressive shadow of the tyrannical king Kamsa, his very arrival signifies the triumph of light over encroaching darkness. Prophecies had foretold Kamsa's demise at the hands of Devaki's eighth child, leading to the brutal murder of her preceding seven. Yet, Krishna's miraculous birth and stealthy escape across the Yamuna River into the pastoral village of Gokul reveal an unfolding divine plan, symbolizing hope emerging precisely when despair seems absolute. His incarnation is a testament to the cosmic principle that whenever righteousness wanes and unrighteousness prevails, the divine descends to restore balance. Childhood Lila, mischief, miracles, and the butter thief, the divine play. In Vrindavan, under the loving care of his foster parents Nanda and Yashoda, Krishna's childhood is a captivating tapestry of playful antics, extraordinary feats, and charming interactions with the simple villagers. From stealing butter with impish delight to subduing formidable demons like Putana and Kaliya, his seemingly human mischievousness, Leela, or divine play, subtly reveals his cosmic power and attracts spontaneous, selfless devotion from all who encounter him. This period illustrates that the divine can be approached not just through reverence, but through an intimate, loving relationship where playful interaction becomes a path to spiritual awakening. The enchanting lover, Radha, gopis, and the bhakti path, union through devotion. As he matures, Krishna's interactions deepen. His captivating flute playing lures the gopis, coward women of Vrindavan, drawing them into ecstatic dances in the moonlight. His relationship with Radha, often depicted as his primary consort, transcends conventional romance, serving as a profound metaphor for the soul's intense yearning for divine union. This chapter of his life unpacks the essence of bhakti yoga, the path of devotion, where unconditional love, surrender, and longing for the divine become the primary means of spiritual liberation. The gopis' complete absorption in Krishna symbolizes the soul's single-pointed focus on the beloved, demonstrating that even earthly affections can be transmuted into sacred love. The Prince of Dwaraka, diplomacy, duty, and dharma, governance and right action. Transitioning from the idyllic groves of Vrindavan, Krishna emerges as the Prince of Dwaraka. Having left his childhood home, he establishes the magnificent city of Dwaraka and takes on the role of a shrewd statesman and king. This phase of his life showcases his strategic diplomacy, his unwavering commitment to upholding dharma, righteousness, and moral order, and his pivotal role in establishing justice in a world fraught with conflict. Here, Krishna demonstrates that spiritual wisdom is not divorced from worldly responsibilities. Rather, it is the very foundation for effective governance and righteous action in the public sphere. The charioteer of Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita, and the philosophy of action, wisdom on the battlefield. The pinnacle of Krishna's philosophical teachings unfolds on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where he serves as the charioteer of Arjuna. Facing his own kin in a fratricidal war, the warrior Arjuna is overcome by despair and moral dilemma. Krishna, his charioteer, then delivers the timeless discourse of the Bhagavad Gita, a concise yet comprehensive manual for living a spiritually awakened life amidst worldly strife. He expounds upon core tenets such as karma yoga, the path of selfless action, the imperishable nature of the soul, the importance of duty, and various paths to liberation. This dialogue illustrates that true wisdom is not an escape from reality, but a way to engage with its challenges with equanimity, detachment, and unwavering purpose. Krishna's departure, the end of an era and the cycle of time, impermanence and transcendence. Just as his arrival was divine, so too was Krishna's departure. After fulfilling his earthly mission, an aging Krishna willingly departs from the world, marking the end of the Dvapara Yuga and the onset of the Kali Yuga, the present age of decline. His death, often described as an accidental arrow piercing his foot, emphasizes the principle of impermanence, anitya, that applies even to divine incarnations. This event serves as a powerful reminder of the cyclical nature of time in Hindu cosmology and the ultimate transcendence of the divine form beyond physical manifestation, reinforcing that even the most glorious of lives must come to an apparent end. The enduring echo, Krishna in modern consciousness, symbolism and practice today. Despite his departure, Krishna's essence lives on. His character continues to hold immense sway in contemporary spiritual thought, inspiring millions across the globe. He remains a powerful symbol of divine love, infinite wisdom, compassionate guidance, and the path to liberation. From the devotional chants and festivals celebrating his life to the philosophical study of the Bhagavad Gita, his teachings are continuously practiced, interpreted, and applied to modern challenges. Krishna's story, therefore, is not a relic of the past, but a vibrant, living narrative that continues to guide humanity towards devotion, enlightenment, and a deeper understanding of the divine within and around us. Rumi's interlude on divine love and longing. Between the grand narratives of existence and the intricate patterns of the cosmos lies the boundless ocean of divine love. It is here that the voice of Jalaluddin Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet and mystic, resonates most profoundly. For Rumi, the universe itself is a manifestation of love, and human existence a journey of longing for ultimate union with the beloved. He teaches us that this longing, far from being a weakness, is the very engine of spiritual ascent, a sacred ache that pulls us inexorably toward our divine source. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there, Rumi famously wrote. This field is the realm of pure love, where distinctions dissolve and the soul recognizes its eternal connection to the divine. His poetry, replete with metaphors of wine, intoxication, and the ecstatic dance of the whirling dervish, invites us not to intellectualize love, but to experience it with every fiber of our being. It is a love that breaks down the ego, shatters illusions, and reveals the inherent beauty and unity in all things. Rumi's wisdom reminds us that even in moments of perceived separation or pain, the beloved is always present, orchestrating our return. The ache of longing is simply the soul's memory of its true home, a divine magnetism that guides us through the labyrinth of earthly experience. Through surrender, passion, and an unwavering devotion, we too can become flutes through which the divine breath plays, echoing the eternal song of love that binds all existence. The ascetic lord and the dance of transformation. The story of Shiva. In the vast pantheon of Hindu deities, Shiva stands as a figure of profound paradoxes. A fierce destroyer, yet a benevolent protector, an ecstatic dancer, yet an austere yogi, a cosmic creator, yet a renunciate dwelling in solitude. His story, far from being a simple narrative, is a complex tapestry, weaving together themes of destruction and creation, love and detachment, chaos and ultimate tranquility. Exploring the many facets of Shiva is to journey into the very heart of transformation, where endings are merely preludes to new beginnings and divine energy manifests in myriad forms. The great yogi, origins, austerity, and the cosmic dance, Mahadev, destroyer, and renunciate. Our understanding of Shiva often begins with his core identity as the great yogi. Known as Mahadeva, the great god, Shiva is one of the Trimurti, the three principal deities of Hinduism, alongside Brahma, the creator, and Vishnu, the preserver. His origins are shrouded in antiquity, tracing back to Vedic Rudra, a fierce storm god. Yet it is his image as the supreme ascetic that truly defines him. Adorned with ash, matted hair, and often dwelling in cremation grounds or atop icy peaks, he embodies intense austerity and detachment from worldly desires. Paradoxically, this same renunciate is also the master of the Tandava, the vigorous cosmic dance of creation and destruction, symbolizing the universe's perpetual flux and Shiva's active role in both dissolution and regeneration. Sati and Parvati, love, loss, and rebirth of Shakti. The divine consort and cosmic energy, Shiva's journey is profoundly shaped by his divine consort. The narrative of Sati, who immolated herself in protest against her father's disrespect for Shiva, plunged the Lord into inconsolable grief and ascetic withdrawal. Her subsequent rebirth as Parvati, the daughter of the Himalayas, represents the reemergence of Shakti, the feminine cosmic energy, without whom Shiva's passive, transcendent consciousness cannot fully manifest in creation. Their union is a powerful symbol of the balance between consciousness, Shiva, and energy, Shakti, illustrating that divine love involves both profound loss and the promise of ultimate reunion and renewal. The destroyer of illusions, Tandava, Trinetra, and the third eye, annihilation for renewal. Shiva's transformative power is most dramatically showcased as the destroyer of illusions. His Tandava dance isn't merely destructive. It's a cosmic process of clearing away old forms, ignorance, and ego, represented by the demon Apasmara under his foot, to allow for new creation. His Trinetra, the third eye on his forehead, is the eye of wisdom and all-knowingness. When opened, it can burn away delusion and evil, symbolizing the annihilation of illusions for the sake of profound renewal and spiritual insight. This aspect emphasizes that true transformation often requires the destruction of outdated beliefs and attachments. Lord of beasts and benevolence, Pashupatinath and the compassionate aspect, patron of animals and outcasts. Despite his formidable power, Shiva also embodies deep compassion. Known as Pashupatinath, the Lord of animals, he is revered as the protector of all living beings, especially the vulnerable and the wild. He is often depicted in close proximity to nature and animals, and his followers, often outcasts or those on the fringes of society, find refuge and acceptance in his embrace. This aspect reveals Shiva's boundless empathy, his willingness to consume poisons, like the Halahala from the Samudra Manthan, for the welfare of the world, and his role as a compassionate guide for all souls, regardless of their societal standing. The lingam and the cosmic pillar, formless manifestation and creation, symbolism of the divine principle. The abstract nature of the divine is powerfully conveyed through the lingam. The lingam, often depicted as an aniconic, elliptical stone, is Shiva's most revered symbol. Far from representing a phallus as sometimes misunderstood, it embodies the formless, all-pervading reality of Shiva, the pure consciousness from which all creation emerges and into which it ultimately dissolves. Mounted on a yoni, representing Shakti, it signifies the creative union of masculine and feminine principles, the source of all existence. It is a potent reminder that the divine is both immanent in form and transcendent beyond it. Shiva's abode, Mount Kailash and the inner sanctuary, retreat, meditation, and ultimate freedom. Shiva's timeless retreat is encapsulated by Mount Kailash. This sacred peak in the Himalayas is considered Shiva's mystical dwelling place, a realm of pristine purity and profound stillness. Mount Kailash symbolizes not just a physical location, but an inner sanctuary, a state of deep meditation, withdrawal from worldly clamor, and the attainment of ultimate freedom and liberation, moksha. It serves as an invitation for devotees to cultivate their own inner Kailash, finding peace and transcendence through contemplative practice. The enduring echo, Shiva in modern consciousness, symbolism and practice today. Finally, we highlight Shiva's profound and continuing relevance. In contemporary spirituality, Shiva's diverse archetypes resonate deeply, as the ultimate yogi inspiring meditation and self-discipline, as the destroyer of ego for personal growth, as the cosmic dancer embodying the universe's dynamic energy, and as the compassionate protector. From yoga studios around the globe to philosophical discussions on impermanence, Shiva's symbolism permeates popular culture and spiritual practice, offering a timeless guide for navigating transformation, embracing paradox, and seeking ultimate truth in an ever-changing world. Rumi's interlude on union and the breaking of chains. Between the narratives of creation and transformation lies a deeper truth, sung by the heart of Rumi. For him, The spiritual journey is an ecstatic dance towards union with the beloved, a perpetual breaking of the chains that bind us to illusion and separation. Rumi's poetry is a testament to this liberating process, where longing becomes the key and divine love the ultimate freedom. Why do you stay in prison, he implores, when the door is so wide open? This powerful question encapsulates his core message. The perceived limitations of ego, of worldly attachments, of rigid doctrines are self-imposed. The path to true freedom, to the profound union with the divine that is our birthright, requires a courageous act of unchaining. This isn't a struggle, but a surrender, a letting go of what we think we know and what we believe we are, to discover the boundless self. Through the metaphor of the lover and the beloved, Rumi teaches that true liberation is found not in isolation, but in the dissolution of the self into the greater reality of divine love. Every pain, every longing, every moment of surrender is a filing away at the shackles, bringing us closer to that ecstatic union where the individual drop merges with the infinite ocean. It is in this profound connection that all chains fall away, revealing an unburdened spirit dancing in the vast, open field of universal love. The confluence of divinity and ecstasy, universal themes. Across the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions, a recurring theme emerges: the interplay between divine expression and profound human experience, often culminating in states of ecstasy and liberation. Whether through playful dance, rigorous discipline, poetic surrender, or cosmic sound, humanity has perpetually sought to understand and unite with the ultimate reality. This exploration delves into these universal themes, revealing the interconnectedness of seemingly disparate spiritual concepts and their collective pointer towards an indivisible truth. Lila and Tandava, the play and the dance of existence, complementary energies. The very nature of existence, as understood in many traditions, is a dynamic interplay of divine energies, beautifully encapsulated by Lila and Tandava. Lila, often associated with Krishna, represents the joyous, spontaneous, and often mischievous divine play of creation and manifestation. It speaks to the effortless unfolding of the universe, unburdened by purpose, simply expressing the sheer delight of being. Complementing this is Tandava, Shiva's vigorous cosmic dance, which embodies both creation and dissolution. It is the rhythmic force that brings worlds into being and dissolves them back into primordial essence, clearing away illusion and stagnation for new beginnings. Together, Leela and Tandava illustrate that reality is not static, but a vibrant, ever-changing dance, a sacred performance where joy and destruction are two sides of the same divine coin. Bhakti and yoga, paths to the one beloved, devotion versus asceticism, a synthesis. For those seeking union with this dynamic reality, myriad paths converge. Bhakti and yoga offer two powerful yet distinct approaches that ultimately lead to the same destination. Bhakti, the path of fervent devotion, exemplified by the gopis' love for Krishna, emphasizes surrender, emotional intensity, and selfless love for the divine. It is a path of passionate longing, seeing the beloved in every aspect of creation, and cultivating an intimate, personal relationship with the divine. Yoga, particularly in its ascetic forms associated with Shiva, focuses on rigorous discipline, meditation, and control of the mind and body to transcend illusion and realize the self. While one might appear outwardly devotional and the other inwardly contemplative, they are not mutually exclusive, but rather complementary. True spiritual synthesis recognizes that both fervent love and disciplined introspection can melt the ego, leading to the same singular reality. The Veil and the Beloved, Rumi's unveiling of divine union, insights into the formless mem. This journey of seeking and surrender finds its poetic voice in Rumi's unveiling of divine union. Rumi, with unparalleled eloquence, describes the human soul's inherent longing for the beloved, which is none other than the divine itself. For Rumi, the veil is the illusion of separation, the ego, and worldly attachments that obscure our inherent unity with God. His poetry is a passionate invitation to tear down these veils through ecstatic love, longing, and surrender. He emphasizes that the divine is not distant but intimately present, and that true union is an unveiling, a recognition of the already present reality where the lover and the beloved are one. His insights into the formless nature of God transcend specific religious dogmas, pointing to a universal experience of union. Karma, and liberation, lessons from the lives of gods transcending the cycle. The lives of divine figures often serve as profound lessons for navigating human existence and reveal timeless principles for transcending the cycle of suffering. Krishna's role in the Bhagavad Gita meticulously explains karma, the law of action and consequence, and dharma, righteous duty, emphasizing that liberation is achieved not by escaping action, but by performing it with selfless intention and detachment from results. Shiva's narrative, conversely, highlights detachment from worldly pursuits and the destruction of ego as paths to ultimate freedom. Together, these divine stories underscore that understanding our actions, aligning with universal righteousness, and cultivating detachment are essential steps in liberating ourselves from the endless cycle of birth and death, leading to a state of profound peace and freedom. The sound of Om, vibration, creation, and cosmic resonance. The primordial word beyond narratives and practices, there lies a foundational vibration that underpins all existence. The sound of Om points to this primordial element. Om is considered the sacred sound of the universe in Hinduism, the original vibration from which all creation emanates. It is believed to represent the past, present, and future, encompassing all states of consciousness. The consistent chanting of Om is not merely a vocal exercise. It is a profound practice intended to resonate with the cosmic vibration, to align the individual's consciousness with the universal creative force. It suggests that reality is fundamentally energetic and vibratory, and by tuning into this primordial sound, one can connect directly to the source of all being. Conclusion: embracing the mystical journey. In conclusion, we see how these seemingly distinct themes and divine stories are but varied facets of a single luminous truth. Whether through the playful dance of Lila, the disciplined path of yoga, the passionate longing of bhakti, the liberating wisdom of karma and dharma, or the primordial resonance of Om, each tradition and concept reflects a unique angle of the same ultimate reality. The journey is one of unveiling, breaking free from limiting perceptions to realize the profound unity that underlies all existence. To embrace this mystical journey is to recognize oneself as an integral part of the divine dance, a unique reflection of the one light that illuminates the entire cosmos. It is an invitation to experience the confluence of divinity and ecstasy, not as an abstract concept, but as the living reality of every moment. The immutable light, musings on divinity, impermanence, and the celestial dance. The shadow of Calvary in the human condition. Jesus lived to be 33 years old. This stark temporal brevity, culminating in an act of profound injustice, casts a long shadow across the human experience. The world crucified a poor, perfect man, and still we are consumed by how the world treats us. This is not a judgment, but an observation, a confrontation with the inherent disparity between ultimate suffering born for truth and our pervasive anxieties regarding personal comfort and worldly affirmation. The narrative of Christ's passion from a theological perspective pivots on his unblemished perfection. He was, by all accounts, a vessel of divine purity, whose very being, rather than shielding him, became the catalyst for his demise. Betrayed, reviled, and subjected to agonizing public execution, his final moments resonated with an unimaginable isolation. He was the innocent victim, a lamb led to slaughter by the very sheep he aimed to shepherd. This image, when held against the backdrop of our modern lives, often creates a jarring dissonance. We meticulously curate our digital facades, agonize over fleeting criticisms on social media, suffer profound existential dread from career setbacks, and endure sleepless nights over financial fluctuations. We crave constant validation, recoil from rejection, and construct elaborate psychological fortresses against the slightest discomfort. Our narratives of suffering frequently revolve around the absence of immediate gratification or the failure of external circumstances to align with our meticulously crafted desires. We anticipate fairness, demand validation, and expect a path devoid of friction. When these expectations inevitably shatter, our internal equilibrium is profoundly disturbed. This introspection is not intended to diminish genuine suffering. The world, indeed, groans under the weight of immense injustice, endemic poverty, and ceaseless violence, and to ignore these would be an act of profound callousness. Personal grief, profound loss, and systemic hardship are undeniable realities that demand our deepest compassion and active engagement. However, the juxtaposition with the narrative of Christ compels us to confront the very nature of our anxieties. Are our worries primarily rooted in ego, material comfort, or social standing? Or do our anxieties stem from a deeper commitment to truth, justice, or the well-being of others, even at considerable personal cost? The crucifixion of Jesus serves as an unvarnished reminder that the world, in its fallen state, is not inherently just or inherently kind, particularly to those who challenge its prevailing norms or embody uncomfortable truths. It is a world demonstrably capable of immense cruelty and profound misunderstanding. To anticipate unwavering affirmation or perfectly equitable treatment from such a world after it showcased its capacity for the ultimate act of malice against perfection is perhaps a profound naivete. Instead, the lesson of Calvary invites us to a radical shift in perspective. It compels us to scrutinize our attachments to fleeting worldly approval and transient comforts. It challenges us to cultivate a resilience that transcends external circumstances, to anchor our peace and purpose in something immeasurably greater than the fickle embrace of popular opinion or the ephemeral accumulation of material gain. If Jesus, in his unparalleled perfection, faced utter rejection and brutal death, then our own struggles within this world, no matter how acutely painful, are perhaps an inevitable component of striving to live a life of integrity and profound purpose, rather than an anomaly or an unfair imposition. Ultimately, the shadow of Calvary casts a long, revealing light upon our contemporary anxieties. It is not an invitation to masochism or the denial of legitimate pain. Rather, it is a profound call to humility, to a calibrated perspective, and to a fundamental reevaluation of what truly matters. If the world could crucify a poor, perfect man, then perhaps our greatest concern should not be how the world treats us, but rather how we, in the face of such a stark and illuminating lesson, choose to treat the world and ourselves, striving for a perfection not of external approbation, but of internal grace and unwavering truth, regardless of the perceived cost. Celestial circumambulations and the sacred orb. The moon, that luminous orb in the velvet cloak of night, has held humanity captive since time immemorial, inspiring profound awe, deep reverence, and an abiding sense of the sacred across the panoply of cultures and civilizations. Its cyclical phases, at once predictable yet shrouded in mystery, have served as a cosmic chronometer, an indispensable guide for the rhythms of agriculture, and a potent symbol in religious and spiritual practices throughout recorded history, and most likely eons prior. From ancient mythologies that wove intricate tales of its power to contemporary spiritualities that continue to draw solace from its presence, the moon's enduring luminescence in the human imagination attests to its fundamental role as a celestial body imbued with deep cultural and symbolic resonance. One of the most universal expressions of the moon's revered status lies in its intrinsic connection to cycles and rhythms. Early agricultural societies, whose very survival hinged upon the precise ebb and flow of the seasons, quickly discerned the moon's profound influence on tidal movements, the opportune moments for planting, and the bountiful season of harvest. Lunar calendars, predating their solar counterparts in numerous instances, became indispensable instruments for organizing both daily life and intricate ritual. This practical utility seamlessly dovetailed with spiritual interpretations. The moon's waxing and waning directly mirrored the cosmic ballet of life, death, and rebirth, thereby establishing it as a potent emblem of fertility, regeneration, and the relentless passage of time. Across diverse pantheons, numerous goddesses, such as the Greek Selene and Artemis, the Roman Luna and Diana, and the Hindu Chandra, incarnated these lunar attributes, becoming inextricably linked with childbirth, maternal protection, and the enigmatic mysteries of the feminine principle. Beyond its utilitarian applications, the moon's ethereal glow and its unwavering presence in the nocturnal firmament rendered it a natural focal point for spiritual contemplation. In the ancient civilization of Egypt, the god Thoth, frequently depicted with the head of an ibis or as a baboon, was intimately associated with the moon, presiding over wisdom, the sacred act of writing, and the precise measurement of time. His lunar connection underscored the moon's profound role in the acquisition of knowledge and the maintenance of divine order. Similarly, within the intricate tapestries of Mesoamerican cultures, lunar deities such as the Aztec Coyolxauhqui and the Mayan Xchel wielded immense power, often intertwined with the life-giving essence of water, the generative force of fertility, the intricate art of weaving, and the healing properties of medicine. Their compelling narratives and rich iconography unveil complex cosmological systems where the moon occupied a central sacred position within the cosmic balance. The moon's profound influence extended into the realms of divination, arcane magic, and the subtle understanding of human emotions. Its pervasive association with the subconscious mind, the ephemeral world of dreams, and the intuitive faculty is deeply entrenched in a multitude of spiritual traditions. The very term lunacy, derived from luna, reflects an ancient recognition, albeit often misunderstood, of the moon's perceived impact on human behavior and psychological states. Indigenous cultures across the globe maintain intricate oral traditions and solemn ceremonies honoring the moon, frequently involving communal storytelling, rhythmic drumming, and ritualistic dance that forge a profound connection between community members, the natural world, and their ancestral heritage. For instance, numerous Native American tribes conduct moon ceremonies to honor the feminine principle, seek spiritual guidance, or offer profound gratitude for abundance. Even in eras marked by advanced scientific inquiry, the moon has steadfastly retained its sacred allure, though sometimes transmuted into different forms. While modern astronomy has meticulously demystified its physical properties, the potent symbolic power of the moon ensures its enduring vibrancy in art, literature, and individual spiritual practices. The romantic allure of moonlight, the profound inspiration it affords poets and lovers, and its persistent presence in astrological beliefs collectively demonstrate its enduring psychological and spiritual resonance. For many, the simple act of gazing upon the moon can evoke a transcendent sense of wonder, a visceral connection to the vast cosmos, and a profound feeling of tranquility or introspective contemplation. In summation, the moon's enduring journey through the annals of human history is an eloquent testament to its multifaceted sacredness. From its role as a celestial timekeeper and an indispensable agricultural guide to its embodiment of divine feminine power, the generative force of fertility, and the enigmatic mysteries of the subconscious, the moon has been observed, interpreted, and revered by humanity throughout the ages in countless, profound ways. It continues to serve as an inexhaustible source of inspiration, a gentle yet potent reminder of the cyclical nature of existence, and a powerful symbol of humanity's ceaseless quest for meaning and connection within the boundless expanse of the cosmos. Its constant, silent vigil in the nocturnal sky ensures its place as a perpetually sacred beacon for generations yet unborn. Mary and the lunar reflection of grace. The moon, a radiant jewel adorning the velvet cloak of night, has for millennia served as a profound wellspring of inspiration and intricate symbolism, its gentle luminescence captivating hearts and minds across the ages. Among its myriad rich associations, one of the most tender and enduring is its symbolic connection to Mary, the Mother of our Lord. Just as the moon faithfully reflects the brilliant effulgence of the sun, so too does Mary, in her sublime purity and unparalleled grace, perfectly mirror the divine light of her Son, Jesus Christ, thereby illuminating our spiritual night with an unwavering beacon of hope and guidance. The most immediate and resonant parallel between the moon and Mary lies in their shared essence as profound sources of light amidst pervasive darkness. The moon, in its celestial dance, possesses no inherent luminosity. Rather, it unfailingly reflects the sun's overwhelming glory, transmuting its intense brilliance into a soft, accessible glow that guides nocturnal travelers and offers solace to the weary. In an analogous manner, Mary, in her profound humility and human form, possessed no intrinsic divinity, yet she served as a perfect, unblemished mirror to the divine presence of God. She received the very light of Christ within her, bore him into the world, and continues to reflect his boundless grace and undeniable truth to all who seek solace and divine direction in a world often shrouded in shadows. She stands as the venerable star of the sea, guiding us through the tumultuous and often treacherous waters of earthly life to the secure and comforting harbor of her Son. Furthermore, the moon's ever-changing phases offer a profoundly beautiful and apt metaphor for Mary's earthly life and her pivotal role in the grand narrative of salvation history. Just as the unseen new moon marks a nascent beginning and holds the silent promise of increasing light, Mary's Immaculate Conception, though initially veiled from worldly perception, represented the nascent dawn of a new creation, meticulously preparing the sacred vessel for the Incarnation. Her humble fiat, "Let it be done to me according to your word," was the silent yet profoundly powerful assent that allowed the Sun of Justice to ascend and illuminate the world. As the moon waxes, progressively growing in resplendent splendor, so too did Mary's grace and virtues increase throughout the span of her life, culminating in her fullness at the pivotal Annunciation and the miraculous birth of Christ. And even as the moon gracefully wanes, a subtle yet poignant reminder of the cyclical nature of existence and the ultimate embrace of divine will, Mary's profound sorrow at the foot of the cross, her quiet endurance in the face of unimaginable grief, and her ultimate glorious assumption into heaven complete a sacred and unwavering cycle of faith, love, and divine purpose. Mary's gentle, nurturing, and compassionate presence also resonates deeply with the moon's traditional associations with maternity, intuitive wisdom, and profound solace. The moon, in its majestic celestial circumambulation, subtly governs the Earth's tides, influencing the rhythmic ebb and flow of its vast waters, much as Mary, in her role as spiritual mother, nurtures and guides the spiritual lives of her children. Her boundless tenderness acts as a healing balm for our wounded souls, her intercession a comforting, embracing solace. Like the moon, which silently watches over us from the cosmic expanse, Mary remains a constant, compassionate presence, ever mindful of our profound needs, attentively listening to our earnest prayers and interceding on our behalf, ceaselessly drawing us closer to the ultimate source of all light and unconditional love. Ultimately, the moon's profound beauty, its unwavering constancy, and its gentle, reflective glow in the night sky render it a perfect and sublime symbol for Mary, our spiritual mother. She is not the source of salvation itself, but rather the immaculate mirror that perfectly reflects the saving light of Christ. She is the gentle guide who illuminates our spiritual path, the comforting presence in our moments of darkness and despair, and the perfect exemplar of unwavering faith, profound humility, and boundless love. As we gaze upon the moon's tranquil countenance, let us remember Mary, the most beautiful of all creation, who reflects the very face of God's love and leads us ever closer to the Sun, who is the true and eternal light of the world. The Aeneid, a cosmological genesis of empire. Virgil's Aeneid transcends the mere confines of an epic poem. It stands as the veritable literary cornerstone of Rome's foundational myth, meticulously sculpted to confer a noble and divinely sanctioned origin upon a burgeoning empire. Composed under the astute patronage of Emperor Augustus, the Aeneid masterfully interweaves extant Greek mythologies and venerable Roman traditions, presenting a narrative that not only elevates Rome's nascent status, but also unequivocally justifies its future conquests, thereby instilling a profound and enduring sense of national destiny. Through the arduous and divinely ordained journey of its protagonist, Aeneas, the poem meticulously traces not merely the lineage of Rome, but also the very virtues, ethical precepts, and divine will that would inexorably shape its future. The central premise of the Aeneid is the perilous odyssey of Aeneas, a Trojan prince, who, amidst the infernal ruins of fallen Troy, bravely escapes with his aged father, Anchises, and his young son, Ascanius, also known as Iolus. This fraught flight from a city consumed by flame immediately imbues Aeneas with a profound sense of tragic loss, yet simultaneously confers upon him a clear and undeniable divine mandate. He is portrayed not as a mere conqueror driven by the pursuit of ephemeral glory, but as a pious and burdened leader, chosen by the pantheon of gods to shepherd the scattered remnants of his people to a new and promised land where a glorious future awaits. This narrative of a resilient survivor, guided inexorably by fate, provides a powerful and deeply sympathetic foundation for the nascent Roman people, subtly suggesting that their origins were not from simple, mundane tribal migrations, but rather from the venerable, albeit unfortunate, legacy of the fabled city of Troy. Throughout his treacherous celestial circumambulation across the vast Mediterranean, Aeneas consistently encounters divine intervention, both propitious and hostile, which powerfully underscores the sacred nature of his fated mission. Juno, the implacable and vengeful queen of the gods, relentlessly obstructs his path, driven by an ancient and unforgiving grudge against the Trojans. Yet Venus, Aeneas's divine mother, and ultimately Jupiter, the omnipotent king of the gods, repeatedly reaffirm his destiny to reach the fabled shores of Italy and there establish a new and glorious city. These intricate divine machinations elevate the very founding of Rome beyond a mere historical event. It becomes a cosmic imperative, the inexorable fulfillment of a grand design meticulously laid out by the highest powers of the celestial realm. This divine sanction served a dual purpose. It both legitimized Roman authority and instilled an unshakable confidence in their burgeoning imperial ambitions. Upon finally reaching the shores of Italy, Aeneas faces a new crucible, engaging in a brutal and bloody war against the indigenous Latins, led by the formidable and defiant Turnus. This profound conflict is not depicted as a simple act of conquest, but rather as a necessary and divinely sanctioned step in the amalgamation of peoples that would ultimately forge the Roman race. The strategic intermarriage of Trojans and Latins, particularly Aeneas's eventual union with Lavinia, the daughter of King Latinus, powerfully symbolizes the blending of disparate cultures and the birth of a new, unified people. This narrative deftly incorporates existing Italian legends, thereby forging a seamless and unbroken continuity between the ancient inhabitants of Latium and the emerging distinct Roman identity. Crucially, the Aeneid meticulously links Aeneas directly to the future legendary founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. While Aeneas himself does not personally found the Eternal City, his son Ascanius establishes Alba Longa, a city that subsequently becomes the ancestral home of the Alban kings, from whom Romulus and Remus would descend centuries later. This vast and illustrious lineage, stretching from the mythical, heroic age of Troy through the hallowed halls of Alba Longa to the very gates of Rome, provides an unparalleled historical and mythological pedigree for the burgeoning Roman state. It connects Rome not only to the heroic era of Troy, but also to a continuous, divinely guided progression towards its eventual and inevitable preeminence. Furthermore, the Aeneid is richly replete with profound prophecies and vivid visions that explicitly foretell Rome's future, unparalleled glory. In Book 6, Aeneas embarks on a perilous journey to the underworld, where he encounters the spectral shade of his venerable father, Anchises, who unveils a panoramic and awe-inspiring vision of future Roman heroes. This grand procession ranges from the legendary Romulus and the early kings to the luminaries of the Republic, and, most importantly for Virgil's contemporary audience, the glorious and transformative reign of Augustus. This prophetic sequence serves as a powerful and undeniable validation of Augustus's rule and the subsequent Pax Romana, portraying them as the ultimate culmination of Aeneas's arduous quest and the divinely ordained destiny of Rome. In essence, Virgil's Aeneid stands as a masterful and unparalleled work of literary nation-building. It transmutes a disparate collection of myths and legends into a cohesive, compelling, and divinely sanctioned narrative that furnishes Rome with an ancient and honorable lineage, an undeniable divine mandate, and a clear, overarching sense of purpose. By imbuing Aeneas with the quintessentially Roman virtues of pietas, profound duty and unwavering devotion, gravitas, dignity, seriousness, and moral weight, and virtus, manliness, courage, and excellence, Virgil artfully presented a heroic archetype for the Roman people to emulate. The Aeneid thus recounts the story of Rome's foundation not as a simple historical event, but as the destined outcome of epic sacrifice, inexorable divine will, and the enduring spirit of a people chosen for an unparalleled greatness. Coruscant, the Ecumenopolis and the Galactic Republic. Coruscant, the resplendent, gleaming heart of the Star Wars galaxy, stands as one of the most intellectually fascinating and structurally ambitious concepts in the annals of science fiction. It embodies both the awe-inspiring potential and the inherent, tragic fragility of a truly galactic civilization. As the capital of the Galactic Republic and subsequently the chilling epicenter of the Galactic Empire, its very existence speaks to an unprecedented zenith of political organization and technological achievement. The audacious notion of an entire planet consumed by a single sprawling city, an ecumenopolis, is not merely a grand backdrop for epic sagas, but rather a character in itself, reflecting the soaring aspirations, intricate mechanisms, and eventual tragic unraveling of the intergalactic Senate that called it home. The sheer, staggering scale of Coruscant is its most immediate and captivating feature. One must endeavor to imagine a world where every conceivable inch of surface, from the deepest abyssal canyons to the most towering majestic peaks, has been systematically built upon, meticulously excavated, and relentlessly transformed into a layered, multi-tiered metropolis of unimaginable density. This monumental undertaking suggests millennia of concerted effort, resource management on an incomprehensibly vast scale, and an interspecies collaboration that demonstrably transcends individual planetary loyalties and narrow tribalism. The very act of constructing such a city-planet speaks volumes to the sheer ambition of the myriad sentient beings who converge to forge the Republic, powerfully highlighting their shared vision for a unified, organized, and ultimately peaceful galaxy. It stands as an undeniable testament to unparalleled engineering prowess, but more profoundly, it is a living monument to the collective will to centralize power, streamline communication, and establish universal governance. At the very core of Coruscant's profound significance lies the Intergalactic Senate, the legislative behemoth that nominally governed the Galactic Republic for a staggering 1,000 generations. The Senate's physical presence on Coruscant wasn't merely a geographical coincidence. It was imbued with potent symbolism. The vast, soaring, and multi-domed Senate Rotunda, with its individual pods meticulously representing thousands of disparate star systems, remains perhaps the most iconic and enduring image of galactic democracy in ostensible action. Within its hallowed, reverberating chambers, passionate debates raged, intricate laws were meticulously forged, critical treaties were ratified, and the delicate, often precarious balance of power within the Republic was maintained, albeit imperfectly. The Senate, through its diverse representatives from myriad species and disparate cultures, accomplished an extraordinary and unprecedented feat. It facilitated a relatively stable and remarkably peaceful governance across a sprawling galaxy for an unprecedented duration. The accomplishments of the Intergalactic Senate, operating from the bustling heart of Coruscant, were, in their scope, truly immense. For centuries, it assiduously fostered expansive trade networks and meticulously established intricate hyperspace lanes that seamlessly connected distant worlds, leading to an explosive proliferation of interspecies cultural exchange and an accelerating pace of technological advancement. It tirelessly arbitrated countless disputes between its myriad member systems, often skillfully averting full-scale galactic wars and maintaining a fragile, often precarious peace through sophisticated diplomatic channels. The Senate bore the weighty responsibility for enacting complex legislation that impacted the lives of trillions of sentient beings, encompassing everything from sweeping economic regulations to fundamental civil rights, ceaselessly attempting to establish a common framework for justice and order across an astonishing array of diverse societies. Its very protracted existence represented the triumph of diplomacy and collective governance over the inherent chaos and destructive forces of disunity, a monumental achievement in itself. Furthermore, Coruscant organically evolved into the veritable melting pot of the galaxy, a dynamic nexus where representatives, astute diplomats, intrepid traders, and curious citizens from every conceivable corner of the Republic converged. This relentless and diverse flow of beings fostered an unparalleled exchange of ideas, cutting-edge technologies, and vibrant cultures. It was an undisputed hub of innovation, where the latest starship designs were ingeniously conceived, groundbreaking scientific research was meticulously conducted, and the most sophisticated political strategies were passionately debated. The thriving, intricate economy, the kaleidoscope of diverse culinary scenes, and the bustling, vibrant entertainment districts all contributed to Coruscant's undeniable status as a vibrant, living testament to the Republic's extraordinary success in forging a truly interconnected and ostensibly harmonious galactic society. However, Coruscant's very grandeur also subtly, yet powerfully, hinted at the inherent weaknesses and structural vulnerabilities that plagued the Republic. Its immense size and overwhelming complexity could, and often did, lead to endemic bureaucratic inefficiency and pervasive corruption, as vividly depicted in the prequel trilogies. The sheer, astronomical distance between the core worlds and the untamed outer rim, despite the marvels of advanced hyperspace travel, often cultivated a dangerous disconnect making it exceedingly difficult for the Senate to respond effectively and decisively to crises erupting in remote systems. The very centralization of power that rendered Coruscant so politically potent also made it a prime and irresistible target, and ultimately a tragic symbol of the Republic's irreversible downfall when Darth Sidious, with insidious cunning, transformed it into the chilling heart of his oppressive empire. In conclusion, Coruscant transcends the mere definition of a fictional city. It is a meticulously crafted and deeply resonant concept that speaks volumes about the soaring ambition, the monumental triumphs, and the eventual tragic failures of a truly galactic civilization. As the undisputed capital of the Galactic Republic, it served as the physical and symbolic epicenter for an intergalactic senate that achieved the remarkable and unprecedented feat of governing a vast and diverse galaxy for millennia. Its towering spires and endless, layered strata stand as an indelible monument to collective will, unparalleled technological prowess, and the enduring human and alien desire for order, unity, and a precarious peace amidst the boundless expanse of the stars.